Capital Combat Parley, the podcast audio edition. My name is Lewis Hill. I'm with Right on. And today we're going to talk to Crew Jeff Harrison.
New Era Combat Sports.
New Era Combat Sports. And Crew Jeff Harrison, of course, putting on a show on November 24th, Muay Thai live at Lansdowne.
Don't you dare miss it.
Don't you dare miss it. I mean, the top three fights alone are worth the price of admission, man.
Big time.
Big
time.
Merja and Steph Lamarche. Let's see what Crew Jeff's got to say about it.
So we've got Crew Jeff Harrison on the line. Jeff, how are you doing?
Hey, man, pretty good.
Now,
a little bit of a training session, and now I'm talking to you.
We appreciate your time, sir. We know you're a busy man, and you're a busy man promoting a very exciting show coming up soon. Tell us about the show.
Oh, man, pretty excited about this thing. It's been a really cool experience to kind of like try and take the Muay Thai promotion to a bigger level. You know, obviously, like Lansdowne Park, it's there was a show, cancer fundraiser that DOM guys and Rec Promotions did, and I was the announcer on that show actually. But it was a little while ago. It was before everything was like redone, and Lansdowne really became what Lansdowne is now. And we're just super excited to get there. It's kind of like a hub of the city, and yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. We're bringing Muay Thai to one of the biggest venues in the city, and I'm super happy about that.
Now, you are certainly a major impact player in the region as far as combat sports, and I believe it's been a year since New Era Combat Sports has been established, is it not?
On the 24th, it will be a year. So next Tuesday was our opening date.
Wow.
When we first started, I think actually, it's the 20th. Sorry, the 20th was. Yeah, I got my dates wrong. November 20th was our opening date.
And I mean, it's really remarkable how much impact you guys have had, obviously regionally with opening two separate locations, two separate gyms, that is, and also the amount of talent that's being booked to compete, be it in professional mixed martial arts or kickboxing, so on and so forth, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My first question I want to know is, how does it feel looking back at the last year plus?
Well, it actually makes me very, very, very proud. It wasn't like I built it, all these fighters from the ground up in a year. A lot of them chose to follow me in my endeavor, which I'm eternally grateful for. And obviously we're getting some new ones. We're getting some old guys coming back, and we have 14 professionals or people that.
Damn, 14 professionals.
Yeah.
Wow.
14 professionals. I'm gonna have to say that 14. That's awesome.
Another camp, even I don't see, even in their heyday. I don't see another camp that's really done that in the area, and it's only been 11 months. Yeah. So. We train hard and we fight hard, and we'll take the tough ones. I'm not into building can crushers or anything. I truly want all my guys to have really tough fights, and we can rise to the occasion. I know that Ottawa has everything that it needs, that everything that's required to be world class. I'm sure of that. And sometimes you see that, and sometimes you don't when you get out onto the bigger stages. Sometimes it's disappointing losses, but those just build resolve, and for me anyway, it just makes me want to, perfect the system more and keep training and keep bringing in better guys and keep bringing in seminars and just adjusting everything until my goal would be to create in Ottawa kind of what Faraz has in Montreal, or like a Greg Jackson style, where people are going to come in. That's my goal. That is, I don't care if it's too big. I don't care if people think I'm crazy. And people thought I was crazy to leave and start a gym. They're like, oh, he's going to fail. No, we're not going to fail. You know what I mean? I believe we can do it. I believe we have the striking talent to do it. I believe we have the jiu-jitsu. I believe in our MMA program, we're still filling in some of the gaps, and and outsourcing our guys to wrestling camps and stuff. And yeah, man, I won't stop until we have a truly world class academy and system, and one that has like lots of guys in all the shows, you know. So that's it, man.
Follow up. What's because we interviewed you on CCP Studio when you made that major transition, and a lot has happened since. And what I want to know is what's one major personal lesson learned for you in this journey and endeavor?
A personal lesson for me?
Yeah. Is there anything?
Just it's like for me, I found that I swear to God, man, I'm gonna write a fucking book someday. It's gonna be called. You know how there's a book about everything I needed to know I learned in kindergarten about just being a decent person.
Yeah.
Everything you need to know, everything I needed to know, I learned in the ring. You know what I mean? And that's something that I stick by. You know, and this year has definitely tested my character. It's definitely tested a lot of things. There's been a lot of ups and downs that people don't know about. A lot of legal things, a lot of like, crap, and like friends lost and this and that and the other thing. But in the end, like for me, business is just a fight. And our hours of operation, that's like cool, man. The classes we teach, that's awesome. That's like time to perform. That's time to go and use your preparation. But the important thing in fighting, I'm sure you know, is preparation. So it's all the hours, the 15, 16, 14-hour days of preparation that lead to those classes, that lead to people coming in and being like, whoa, this vibe is crazy. And that's all it is, man. It's just like, like hard work is everything. And this year has really taught me how to work hard, how to work smart. You don't want to overtrain. You don't want to undertrain. You still need to have a life, but like just the biggest lesson for me is just learning that the harder you work, the more success you're going to have. And that's the same in the ring. That's the same in the jiu-jitsu competition. Obviously, there's things that sometimes don't go right, things that sometimes don't go as planned, and that's okay, man. Just work through those too. It's all just hard work, man. And if you're lazy or if you're not committed, 100%, it'll chew you up, And another big thing for me, just to go off a second personal lesson, is to practice what you preach. I've really taken my training to a new level, even though I have no plans of fighting. I put up a post the other day, just because I don't fight anymore, don't forget, I don't know how to.
And you were looking pretty slick.
I'm at another level in my martial arts right now. I've lost about 45 pounds now since last Christmas. Just feel good, man. I feel good. I train every day. I train with the guys. I fucking love it, man. There's nothing not to love.
You're burning pretty bright right now, right?
Yeah, man.
In life, yeah.
I'm telling you, it's only the start, man. And it's not about Jeff Harrison. It's not about me. It's not about Professor Pete. It's about New Era Combat Sports. And this is ours. It's every person that walks through, and that's what I think people are really liking. That's why we have so many athletes that are flocking, because we respect every single athlete. Every single athlete has a good opinion. And I think that's the key to coaching, is having great and leadership in general is being very empathetic to what people are thinking and putting them in their shoes. Not everybody's built different, not everybody's built the same. Not everybody reacts the same to training. Not everybody can work as hard as the next guy. This whole cookie cutter, this is what we do to be a successful athlete is not right, in my opinion. To be a successful athlete, you need to be a successful version of yourself as an athlete. You can't just be like, oh, you got to do this, because everyone's different. So people really appreciate the round table approach. And I have lots of students that are way better at things than me, and I don't care about that. I don't have an ego about it. I'm like, hey, this guy's better at this than me. Go see him. If another student needs help, you know what I mean. So we're a very round table philosophy, and that's really part of the success as well, I believe.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because the real test for me, the barometer is following the fighters, and they flock to your gym. Mm-hmm. You guys have a real stable. You got half the TKO card. You got fighters in glory. You know what I mean? But the fighters keep going there. And you did mention that, Ottawa has the potential to be a world class when it comes to martial arts. I mean, that's something we've believed in since we started Capital Combat Parley as well. We do believe this region could be it for Canada. But Crew Jeff Harrison, let's get back to your show. I want to talk about one guy. Can we talk about Mirza for a minute? This guy's fights like an absolute animal. One of the nicest human beings on the planet, by the way. But fights like an absolute animal. Always brings the fans out to the show. But the way he's looking now with what you've been posting on social media, he's a big dude who moves crisp and light like a lightweight and with power, and it's terrifying. Tell us about Mirza.
Mirza is terrifying. I don't ever like a sparring night. We have a hard sparring night. Probably like 30 athletes on a normal night. Last night there was about, I don't know, it was a snow day, like maybe 25 people out sparring hard.
It is Canada.
And,
yeah.
The only person that, we got some big guys, so it's good. But Mirza's got this but I'll bite on my mouthpiece and I will fuck you up kind of attitude.
Yeah.
So if you hit him, it's kind of frightening, and that's not a good place to be. If you're fighting him or sparring him, you're kind of scared to tickle the dragon's tail a little bit. Man, I've been doing Muay Thai for 20 years now, and I don't want to spar Mirza. Fuck that, man. That guy kicks so hard, you have no idea how hard he hits until you actually held the pads for him, and it's he's just finding his rhythm. His last fight in Ottawa was kind of a flop. He won,
right.
He won. But he didn't perform if the power that he has in his hands and his low kicks. If he's got to stay in that boxing range, and he can end anyone's night real quick. And now he's got a whole new thing where he puts his hands down, and again, it's not about building a 240-pound Bosnian to fight like a Thai kid. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a lot of people's problems. They want to take a heavyweight fighter and they want to try and teach him Muay Thai for small man, right? Or Muay Thai for what they think it should be. It's about fighting. So, there's always rules, and all those rules can be broken. And Mirza's starting to break them, and he's starting to have great success with it. Because if you don't see a shot, the shot's coming from your hip, his hands are down, but he's got this crazy reaction time and measurement skill of space and distance, where he can just slip. He can actually box pretty well. He doesn't really get hit, and the reason I know he can box pretty well is because he does pretty well with number 4 ranked in the world, Rob Thomas, who's
right.
undefeated boxer. And I'm not saying Rob doesn't beat the shit out of him, but I'm saying he beats the shit out of him less than everyone else. You know what I mean?
But did things happen fast for Mirza though? Because he's such an exciting fighter. He's had this.
Of course they're gonna happen fast because again, you're gonna take the tough ones, right?
Right.
I don't want him to fight. What? I want to hold him in C class and then hold him in B class, and then he's only had 7 fights. And I've been talking with Steph Patry a little bit, and we're gonna get him into MMA next year.
Yes.
We're gonna sign him with TKO.
Yes.
And if he hits you with a flounce glove, your head's gonna fly off.
We love that.
So, and
him versus Werewolf.
I'm not gonna name names, but we got
Werewolf.
We got some good fucking jiu-jitsu guys.
Right.
And he's never rolled a day in his life, and he choked out one of our top guys the first time he ever rolled.
No kidding.
Wow.
Well, he's definitely got his throw game down pat.
Just put him in a guillotine choke. He's I saw that on TV. It's what the fuck? That's a brown belt. What's happening? But yeah, crazy, man. Yeah, Mirza's special, man. If you've never seen him fight, he brings all of Bosnia with him. He brings the heart of Bosnia with him.
If you've never seen Mirza fight,
fighting spirit.
Yeah.
He's a very, very. He plays it off he's a little bit of a savage and a little bit of a meathead, but he's a very, very intelligent person as well. He's got a very successful business. He came over from Bosnia when he was younger, and he's really, really made a great life for himself. And that doesn't happen by accident. Again, hard work. He knows how to work.
And I think he cuts some of the best promos locally, post-fight interviews. The guy's
yeah, for sure.
Brilliant.
X-rated a little bit, but or R-rated, sorry. But yeah, he's a special guy, man. It's cool.
So tell us about this big show. Who's fighting on it? Mirza is obviously one of the gentlemen who's fighting on it. But tell us where we can buy tickets, who's sponsoring it. Plug away, please.
Okay, so the show is obviously called Muay Thai Live at Lansdowne. And it's next Saturday, so it's a week from today.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just so excited to get this thing going. The main card is pretty crazy. We got Stefan LaMarche. Obviously, like my homie Stefan is fighting.
Oh, he's punched me a few times. Yeah.
He's awesome to watch.
He's great. Yeah.
He doesn't give, like, he takes all of his nerves and all of his whatever. I don't even know if he feels nerves, and he turns them into flying fucks, and then he he doesn't give them away. He's like, he just goes and fights.
And he's my age, for God's sakes. Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Yeah, like he's fighting a kid from New York that's 24-1. And this kid is known as being primarily a boxing / K1 kind of specialist. So it's going to be, and I know Steph's going to stand and bang,
Mm-hmm.
and this kid's going to stand and bang, and it's going to be one of those fights, I think, where it'll be the show stealer. And every time you can count Steph out, and you can look at the records, and you can be like, oh, he was a journeyman in MMA at a losing record. But then you look at the guys that he beat in Muay Thai, aka myself, Dave McDonald, and then he just beat a Mexican champion who was good, who did well against like Andrew Kubelin at IFMA. He
stopped him with leg kicks, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He stopped him in the first round, I think.
Yeah.
And this is a very, very tough guy. I know this because Chris coached him. And I know Chris held him in very high regard as like he could be a world beater. And then Steph, this old guy, just comes in and smashes him in the first round. It's pretty crazy, right?
That's
so we
pretty
got
wild,
Steph
yeah.
Marks versus Bryce Mills, which is going to be crazy. We got Mirza versus Donai Foreman, who's from Toronto. He
Mm-hmm.
trains with crew Nick Batista, as well as Ajan Suchar from CM number 1.
Right.
And he's big. He's very, very big. He's the only guy to beat Christos, our other one of our heavyweights.
Right.
Heavyweight prospect. So he beat Christos. So now Mears is going to fight him, and it's going to be a banger too, man. I don't really know what's going to happen in that fight. Because like he's a big heavyweight. Mears is a pretty small heavyweight. Mears has actually fought at 85, right?
Right.
So and that would be his ideal. For me, the ideal to start for MMA for Mirza would be 205 and then get him down to eventually a middleweight, turn him into a middleweight prospect, because it's an exciting division with lots of action, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a rematch. So the third fight from the top would be the rematch. Warwick Fulke of N1 versus Joey DeBow of New Era Combat Sports. And that's going to be a crazy fight too. The first one was like very controversial.
It sure was, yeah, and it had a lot of weird things.
Won, but he got the point taken off.
Yeah.
So Joey's training to shut him up, and respectfully, of course.
Of course.
I like Warwick. He's an interesting guy, but like he truly takes his craft seriously.
Absolutely.
And anybody that does that has earned my respect. He wants to be a world beater, and he trains to be a world beater, and he's So those are the top 3 fights. We also have a couple more A-class fights. We got Natalie Liberatori, actually Joey's fiance, fighting a girl named Taya from Atlanta Muay Thai. Dave McDonald's on the card. We got just a ton of great talent. Golden Lion. Got a couple guys from there. Ottawa Fight and Fitness versus Kempville. We got a couple guys from Sasha's gym.
Yep.
It's going to be good, man. It's going to be a great card. We got 12 fights. So, and the production's going to be there. Like we got the lights and stuff, and trusses,
and it's at Lansdowne.
It's at Lansdowne, right?
There's a lot of places to go for adult beverages.
For this thing. Bought a brand new, the nicest ring you've ever seen.
No kidding.
Our Fight Factory Promotions ring, yeah. Going all out, man. Gold and black ring.
Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah, man. It costs more than my car, but whatever.
Does this mean you're gonna be? Are you gonna be booking? Are you gonna be booking more events regularly?
Oh yeah, bro.
Oh.
Yeah. It doesn't make we got all the fighters, so why not?
Oh damn! I thought this was a one-off sort of.
Everybody else.
Okay.
There's no politics. The athlete comes first, right?
Right.
Love it.
And a lot of
No
places,
politics. I love it.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, a lot of places aren't like that. You know what I mean? A lot of places, like, they want to hold back for whatever reason. Maybe it's ego. Maybe it's pride. Maybe it's self-doubt. Maybe it's politics. Maybe they don't like the promoter. Whatever it is. You know what I mean? We got some people that held back a little bit. But in the end, like, you know, if you got fighters and we have a show like this in Ottawa, you should fight on it. Because those fighters are going to wonder why they aren't fighting. And then guess where they're going to go?
Right.
Yeah, good point.
So, like, anybody that holds people back is just shooting themselves in the foot because they'll be at my gym in a year.
Hashtag new era.
Yeah, man. Like, you fucking dummies.
Hey, man. No,
Anyway.
leave the politics to the members of Parliament, the House of Commons, and leave the fighting to
That's
the fighters.
What they say, eh?
Well, yeah.
Said that? I don't care. I'll say what I want. So title sponsors, we got Ryan Baresi, Commercial Real Estate. He actually trains with me. You know, he's a great guy. Golden Contracting, another. You know, he sponsors Mateo like full time now. He basically took Mateo on salary to help him with his TKO career.
Beauty.
Amazingly giving person. You know, martial arts has done a lot for his life and his son's life, so he's giving back a little bit. And of course, Urban Stone Surfaces, which is owned by my partner here at New Era Combat Sports. You know, those are the three main sponsors. We got so many. We got Wild Wings Canada, Brad Hargrove Real Estate, Mackey Homes. We got Oakwood. It was pretty cool to see them come on board. They're kind of like a big fixture. The Ottawa business team. Delory Custom Cabinets, Whole Therapy, Court Stone, JoJo's Pizza, Gold Art, Unsung Hero. So basically, we got all these sponsors to make this thing possible. You know, Bert's Roofing, Kelly Santini Law. I hope I got everybody. I'm not sure if I did. Ciroc, Tomo, and Sapporo Beer.
Nice.
Sponsoring.
Damn.
So yeah, this is what's happening, right? This is how it should be. Where like we can get all these businesses together. The VIP just sold out yesterday, so we have like. I think there's 12 VIP seats left. We sold 20 tables already. So there's 250 to 300 people in just VIP itself.
And guess what? CCP's going to be there.
Yeah, man. We got all the tickets out there. And yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, I don't know, man. You never really know with promoting. I've been promoting a long time. I've been promoting since 2006. And you never really know until the day before. Sometimes even the day of what's going to happen. So I'm assuming that anyone that listens to this will want to come out and enjoy some amazing Muay Thai. Not only that, but it's going to be a party. We got like, you know, the bar, the bottle service for the tables. It's going to be cool, man. And anybody that's left on the VIP experience, you know, maybe next one they'll want to jump on that quicker and not miss the boat, right?
Well,
yeah, the whole thing, too, is obviously we want to raise as much money as we can, you know, because we're kicking back like a portion of every ticket to Wounded Warriors.
Right.
Okay, and that's an amazing organization that takes care of people with post-traumatic stress from military service or first responders, so the firefighters, the police. And the emergency, like the ambulance workers and the paramedics or whatever, that have to experience like some pretty nasty shit, and they need help, man. So you know, like we're gonna have somebody speak a little bit about Wounded Warriors Canada and raise some awareness for them, and yeah, man, because that's what it's all about, right? Those are the real warriors. Like, we get in the ring and fight for 6, 9, 15, 25 minutes. But you know, out there, if you're running into a fire, or if you're chasing some bad dude, or going into a house that's got drug fumes like going up the nose, or if you're out on the if you're out on the front lines, in Afghanistan or wherever else, those are the guys that truly have courage, because there's no referee, and there's no time limit. It's like it's pretty crazy shit, man. So yeah, we're gonna help those guys out. They've been I'm super excited to do that.
Fighting for a good cause.
Yeah, man, it'll be good.
Well, we look forward to it. Thank you very much for your time, sir, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you.
Sorry for blabbing so much, but
No.
yeah, man, I can't wait to roll out the next year. If anybody wants to check us out, look up neweraCombatSports.com, and I'm not going to say we're the best, but come on out and see
I
it.
think you are.
I don't know about that. I don't want to say that because everyone's different, but I'm proud of what we've done, and I'd love to share it with people. So if they come on out, that'd be great.
Awesome. Thank you very much, and have a good one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
New Era Combat Sports crew, Jeff Harrison. We look forward to his show. I mean, they've opened up that brand, that gym opened up about a year ago.
About a year ago, yeah.
Expanded to another location in under a year. Now they're booking big events at some big venues. New Era Combat Sports.
Muay Thai live at Lansdowne, fascinating. And you know what? Interesting thing that crew Jeff was talking about. He was talking about life lessons and all that. And it's always interesting when the promoters and gym owners say, and there's a lot of stuff you didn't hear about.
Yeah.
Because there's always stuff. And, we've been in the fight commentating game and fight interview game for a while. And just seeing behind closed doors at these shows, the amount of fighters who drop out, the amount of, fights that don't happen for whatever reason, blood work, the amount of drama.
The drama.
We don't know what crew Jeff was talking about, but we can relate, brother. We wish you all the best at your show. Crew Jeff Harrison.